I've just watched California Democratic Party convention with Andrew Yang, the guy who promises everyone $1,000, and I found lots of lies and weird promises in this video, so let's watch it together.
Time to welcome the next Democratic candidate, entrepreneur Andrew Yang. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
He shook hands with 4 women and 1 man. There must be some diversity problem in the first row of the audience. But let's start with the interview.
California, as you know, is the nation's largest fresh food producer. There are 700,000 farm workers in this state. Many of those jobs will be at risk in the coming years due to automation. What specific steps would you take to help those thousands of farm workers with the adjustment to such a change?
For every question, there is one answer: $1,000 per month.
And my flagship proposal of a dividend of $1,000 a month for everyone in the country.
Everyone in the country? What? What are you talking about? You promised to give $1,000 for US citizen 18 plus. Maybe all those farm workers are US citizens. Let's check the USDA website to get these numbers. That's what we need: legal status and migration practices. Okay, legal immigration status is difficult to measure. Okay, maybe they measure somehow. Oh, roughly half of hired crop farm workers lack of legal immigration status. The share of workers who are US born is highest in the Midwest, while the share who are unauthorized is highest in California. So what is this chart is about? It tells us only that 30% of the workers were US citizen actually. And this is nationwide, so probably in California it's gonna be like 20% max. Anyway, 80% of these workers won't get any Yang's dividend.
Many of those workers, most of those workers actually are immigrants. How would you help them specifically?
That's a very good question, probably not with $1,000.
Well, I'm the son of immigrants myself. My parents met as graduate students right here in California. And I know that immigrants make our country stronger, more dynamic, both economically and culturally. The people who are here in this country who've immigrated here for a better life, we need to create a path to citizenship.
Okay, path to citizenship. Let's go to this guy website. Let's read his proposal. Okay, immigrants have been a source of hard work, totally agree, melting pot, blah blah blah. It's also necessary to recognize that as a nation we need to maintain control of our immigration system. That's right. Immigration system is broken, 11 million undocumented immigrants. Okay, finally, we also need to find ways to address this massive community of undocumented immigrants who entered country illegally. Okay, let's find a way. Rounding up and deporting that many people is non-starter, and it would be prohibitively expensive, disruptive and inhumane to many communities. So a pathway to citizenship must be provided. Yoo-hoo! However, this pathway must reflect the fact that these immigrants try to circumvent our legal immigration system. Usually everything which is before however you can just ignore. It's even more important to get this right when citizenship guarantees a freedom dividend. How can we translate this from politician English to real English? Probably this means that people who overstayed their visas in US can get some path to citizenship after billions of years, but those who cross the border illegally will never ever get any path to citizenship. That's the current law, and I don't think Andrew Yang wants to change this. I think it's pretty clear. There is like no way he will allow anyone who enters country illegally to get the citizenship.
We can't pretend that we can somehow deport 12 million plus people without collapsing regional economies and being inhumane in a way that would be completely against our values.
First of all, on his website says 11 million undocumented immigrants, but why don't we add 1 million more? It's just 1 million people, nothing. But the most important, you won't need to deport these people because according to Andrew Yang, with automation, everyone will lose their job. So these people will voluntarily deport themselves back to their countries. Isn't it true?
Here in California, income inequality is particularly severe, so much so that people are actually leaving the state. How do you plan to address income inequality specifically?
I'm so curious what Andrew Yang could say to that question.
If we put $1,000 dividend from the tech giants who right now are not paying meaningful taxes into our hands, we could ease income inequality immediately.
Well, if I earn $1,000 per month and my neighbor earns $10,000 per month, and then with the young proposal I will get 2 and my neighbor get 11, I think the income inequality is still the same, $9,000. Am I wrong in this?
Taxing digital ads. Why is that approach better than actually regulating content while we figure out how to do things better?
I'm for a variety of approaches, but I think taxing these ads is a very, very efficient way to start having the public receive gains and revenue from the digital advertising industry in a way that we can use to invest in countermeasures that help protect our kids, that help support responsible journalism, that can start curbing the worst of the abuses in these tech companies. I'm someone who really likes to take some of the winnings and distribute them in a way that helps the public, and to me, taxing digital ads is a great way to do that.
I've made a separate video analyzing Young Watt's proposal to tax all these ads, but unfortunately the way it works is that ad is never an end business. So the business which actually buys this ad will be able to reclaim this tax within Watt's system and won't pay anything extra. This is a very basic thing. Andrew Yang, please read at least the Wikipedia page because you're lying every interview. This is really annoying.
We have a question from the audience.
She's studying political science at UCLA, and she has a question for you about political fairness.
Thank you so much. In 2013, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. Since then, more than half of the U.S. states have passed laws to make it harder for the young, the poor, and minorities to vote. How can you help ensure that elections are fair and no one in this country is denied the right to vote?
Of the fact that we need to let our young people have the ability to vote and not have states be able to push them away from the ballot box. I'm also for lowering the voting age to 16, because if you're 16 years old, you can pay taxes.
No sex before 18, no Young's dividend before 18, but you can still vote. What's the logic in this?
Finally, homelessness is a severe problem in California. You're an original thinker and innovator. What can you do to help alleviate this problem?
Can I guess the answer?
Freedom dividend of $1,000 a month for every American, we'd all of a sudden have $12,000 a year to allocate to each person on the street to help get them into shelter, get them off of drugs, get them into a situation where they actually can start participating in our society again.
Wait, first of all, I thought the shelters are free. And second of all, I don't think you can force anyone to spend their own money to cure their own addictions. So if you're homeless and you get $1,000 per month, would you go to the doctor or would you spend it for some amazing booze or drugs? That's pretty much all the interview. Young $1,000 bullshit is debunked again. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.